Okay, this is just going to be a quick video to help people diagnose issues with their comfort access if they have a BMW E93. This is on my convertible. I originally had diagnosed or tried to diagnose this problem, and it was giving me all kinds of issues trying to figure out what the problem was. I actually replaced the comfort access module, took off the driver's side door handle, which is right here in my hand, a couple times to try to see if it might be the pins here at the end or if it was the wiring that's in the door, and that wasn't the problem. The comfort access module wasn't the problem. The issue I ended up having was this number 61 fuse down here that says comfort access control module. It kept on blowing, and I couldn't figure out what wire was shorting out to make it blow. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube, and they would show like either some of the wires in here on the handle or the wires that are in the door that connect onto here might be frayed or touching, and that would cause it to short often, and that would blow this fuse here, this number 61 5-amp fuse, which is, if you look at the diagram here, number 61 is the top right corner, the bottom left side of the panel, but the top right corner of these this set of 10 right there, which is obviously located under here in the dark in my fuse panel, but you don't need to see that. So I had no problem with the wiring. I kept on blowing fuses. I was on about my 4th fuse when I noticed an acrid smell near the driver's side door, and so obviously that led me to this handle, but there was no problems with the wiring. But I could smell in here if I put my nose right down here near that sticker and smelt right there, I could smell an acrid, like burning electrical smell immediately following the blown fuse. And so what was happening is something internal here to the door handle is shorting out, which I don't know how big of a problem that is, but I didn't notice any videos on YouTube that would mention that would be the problem. Almost all the ones I saw were these wires here on the connection. So I thought I'd show a video of this just to let people know, if you keep on blowing that 61 fuse, try smelling around either of your handles, see if you can smell electrical burning after or immediately after blowing the fuse, if you keep on having to replace it, and then that might be your issue. The handle might still be your issue even though you don't notice anything wrong with it just by looking. In there was a smell of electrical smoke inside this handle, so let's take it apart and figure out why. So you just pull back this rubber flap, and then what you need down here in this bottom hole is a number 4 Allen, which I'll attach to this extension, and then in there you'll see where the Allen goes, and you need to unscrew that piece. It won't come out all the way, you just need to loosen it. Once you loosen up that Allen screw, you can wiggle and remove this piece. The light here will stay in the vehicle, so don't try to rip that out. Just take this piece off and set it aside. Then you pull the door handle kind of aft and out, and it will come free. And here's the electrical connection, which you can disconnect. Alright, when this happens, sometimes it's a fray in one of these wires, so check all the wires to see if there's any part grounding out. Mine look pretty good. I don't see any black soot or anything where it would be grounding out. On here, it'd also be one of these 3 wires here that might have become frayed, so check those. And then on mine, actually, I can see some discoloration in here, actually on the electrics of the actual part. So my whole, I think my handle is dead. You can't replace all that stuff in there, the wiring in there, and the parts, so I'm just gonna need to get a new one. On the inside of the handle, there's a part number there, so you can use that to search for it on eBay. They're about 90 bucks, 80 to 90 bucks for a new handle, color matched. So I'm gonna need a new one. You can actually sniff or smell down here in this area, and that's where I can really smell the burning electrics, right in here, and that's where it was brown and discolored. So need a new one. Okay, now I'm going to add on to this video, just in case you're wondering what are all the parts and pieces that go with the Comfort Access system in the E93. So there's several antennas. There's an antenna under here, under this trim, and you can find videos on YouTube on how to take this apart and locate that antenna. It's like buried right under here. There's the same type of antenna, but located back here underneath this trim piece in the back. And then there's a third one in the trunk. I think that is all 3 of them that I know of for the E93. Other parts to this are the F61 fuse, the door handles, both driver and passenger door handle. So that could be the problem. Okay, back here in the trunk is, after you take apart some of these panels, over on the right hand side, you can find this passive go or Comfort Access control module. It's located, if you find the battery on the shelf right above the battery behind this piece of insulation, you can kind of see the edge of it right there. I've already started putting it all back together, and it looks like that it's held on with a couple of 8mm bolts, I believe. It's pretty easy to get out. And that third and final antenna is back here in the trunk space underneath this panel. You got to take this actually all the way out, and just forward of this area, it's right up in there.